You're looking at a futon couch that I've had for quite a number of years now, and I've always wanted to replace the cushions on the couch. Today, I'm going to go one step further and replace the entire couch with a PVC version that, in the end, should look similar to this sketch. To see how I do this, stay tuned. I drafted this simplified sketch of how I pictured the PVC couch to be constructed, trying to keep expense down and strength reasonable. I know I want the couch to be a two-seater, but I've not decided on the size of the couch yet, and I'll tell you why in a bit. The joints you see here should be all I need to complete the construction of this PVC couch. The size of the couch is dependent on how long some of the PVC pipes are cut. How long some of these PVC pipes are cut are determined by what size cushion I end up with. This is what I like about this project, where instead of struggling to find a cushion that will fit my old futon couch, I can now buy any cushion and make the couch fit around the cushion. So, it's time to go buy some cushions. To keep this project on a budget, I decided to get one of those fold-up cushions from Walmart. If I later want to replace the cushion with something else, modifying the PVC couch would only be a matter of disassembling the PVC frame and cutting some of the PVC pipes to different lengths. I calculated the lengths of the PVC pipes using the sketch from earlier in this video. By taking the full width of the cushions and subtracting the lengths of the different PVC joints, I'm able to get the length to cut the PVC pipe to. To start, I'm going to assemble the seat portion of the couch, including most of its attached joints. This is the lower flat section that I'm highlighting with yellow in the inset video. I'll hold off work on the armrest and backrests for now. I want to test the seat once it's assembled to figure out what would work best to support the cushion. Right now I'm thinking either PVC or nylon straps. The joints I'm sliding on to the middle of each length of PVC pipe are slide-ons. If you haven't seen that video on what these are, there will be a link to my video on making these at the end of this video. They are basically PVC tees that I've reamed out the center of to make the contact area inside the slide-on more even. For this build, the slide-ons will serve as the legs for this couch. The armrest is probably the next easiest piece to assemble, so I'm going to work on that now. As you can see, my armrest is simple, a U-shape made of a few pipes and two elbows. The two elbows pointing upwards from the seat of the couch receives the armrest. I'll press it together tight and screw everything in place. I'm still not sure if I should add a flat top to this armrest, upholster it, or connect simple snap-on cup holders. I could even do all of them and switch them out as necessary. I'll give it some thought and decide on it later. My original plan for the backrest was to have an elbow from the seat section, then a T that the bottom of the backrest would slide through so the tilt could be adjusted before screwing it in place at a comfortable angle. I've now decided to do something simpler and what I think is more practical. If it doesn't work out, I can always redo the backrest, which won't be too hard to do. So as for these three elbows, I'm now going to replace them with three T's. Compared to the sketch, I'll be saving on the use of the three elbows and the 50-inch length of PVC pipe that would have ran across the bottom section. Here's a time-lapse of the backrest assembly. If you're wondering why I used a T instead of the elbows for connecting everything to the back of the seat, I later realized that there might be a need for support behind the couch to prevent it from flipping over. I'm not sure if I'll need them yet, so I won't do anything with them right away. If they are needed though, it'll be a simple matter of an elbow and a PVC pipe for support. The first thing I want to do so I can stand this couch right side up to work on the rest is attach all the legs. I've cut 13 8-inch lengths of PVC pipe and just need to fill in all of these empty PVC joints I have in place for the bottom of the couch. If you're wondering why I have 13 legs, It's because PVC is very flexible and having only 4 legs, or even 6, might not be enough to prevent the couch from sagging prematurely from usage. Something some of you might want to do, and what's nice about PVC, is that I could have added more legs later without taking anything apart. These legs are all slide-ons, but you can also do it as a snap-on, as I've done in other videos. Just be sure to screw them in place. Next is the support for the seat of the cushion. The support piece itself is screwed together at the joint, but in attaching it to the couch, I only snap it in place and don't use any screws to attach it permanently to the seat frame. Something to point out is that these snap-ons are cut slightly different from my standard snap-ons. Where I typically cut through the same side of both sides of a T, the cut on these T's are offset. The offset changes how the T snaps onto another pipe by moving the snap-on opening to the side of the T rather than the bottom as shown here. For the seat support, this redesign adds to the strength of the support. I felt the backrest was pretty safe as far as having to deal with stresses of someone seated, so I've only added 1 bar across the back. There was a new and interesting joint I had to create, but I think it'll work out okay. Because the support pipes will be snapped on end to end across the backrest, I had to create a snap-on with a 4-way instead of the normal T-joint. I cut out a neutral section from the 4-way so it could snap on, and it does seem to work okay. So, here's another joint you've not seen before that could be handy for you in the future. Also keep in mind that this could be done as a slide-on. There's something I'd like to mention about screwing the joints together. While watching this video, you may have noticed that during the construction, I only used 1 screw to hold every joint together. Once the entire couch was assembled, I went back to review all the joints and decided that the only joints that needed an additional screw were the joints of the seat supports. The seat frame of the couch did not need additional screws because the 13 legs support every joint of the seat frame from both sides of each joint. One change I've made is for the PVC pipe legs. The sharp ends of the legs dig into the carpet, so moving the couch requires lifting it off the carpet. To make it easier, I've attached these sliders to each leg. The sliders are designed to slide easily across carpet by not having any sharp edges to dig into the carpet. Another change was the gap that I get when unfolding the trifold cushion into the backrest. To fill the gap, I used 4-inch ABS pipe zip-tied to the base of the backrest. The 4-inch ABS fills the gap and prevents the bottom part of the cushion from pushing all the way back, also preventing the cushion back from falling forward. So this is my new termite-proof living room sofa. I'll eventually add some accessories, but there's so many possibilities that I'm having a tough time deciding on which to implement. By the time you see this video though, I'll have long since finished editing and the accessories I decide on will have to be highlighted in the thumbnail instead. I hope you can find this replacement sofa a useful project for your home. Leave your questions and comments in the comment section below. That's all I have for now, and I'll catch you in the next video.